positive or negative, in some cases neutral. So the sentiment classification at a document level consists of the model, which consists of 5 attributes, which is what are that? Object, that is target object, features of the object, sentiment value, and opinion holder, and the time of the opinion expressed. It's a quadruple. And this model assumes that each document will focus on single object and contains opinions from single opinion holder. Give the example of this. I'll repeat. Each document focuses on single object. Give the example of this assumption. Anyone? ఎజంప్షన్ అర్థం కాలేదా లేకపోతే మొత్తం మీ స్లైడే అర్థం కాలేదా? ఆహా, ఇప్పుడు ఎజంప్షన్ ఏంటంటే ఈచ్ డాక్యుమెంట్ ఫోకసెస్ ఆన్ సింగిల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అన్నప్పుడు దీనికి ఎగ్జాంపుల్ గా ఏమి ఇవ్వచ్చు? ఇన్ వాట్ కేసెస్? రివ్యూస్ ఆన్ ఎ సింగిల్ ప్రోడక్ట్. If we are taking the research papers, the authors may give reviews on many papers. అది అప్పుడు సింగిల్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కిందకి రాదు. If we are taking a particular product, then the single opinion holder will give the opinion on that object only. He won't give the opinion on other objects. So this case is mainly applicable for the products. Is this point clear? It considers opinion on the object, on a particular object, that is OJ, or the feature of the object OJ. Subject to analysis. Okay, ma. Any more? Right. ఇంకెవరైనా వచ్చే వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారమ్మా? ఐ మేకింగ్ ఇట్ as full screen. No one is, right. So in the previous slides we have done classification on document level. The same can be applied to individual sentences. And the task of classifying the sentence as subjective or objective is called as subjective classification. And whatever result we are getting from the subjective classification can be expressed positive or negative opinions, which is called as sentence level sentiment classification. మళ్ళీ వచ్చినట్టున్నారా? Someone is there. Sajia. Right.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the problem definition? Given a sentence S, on that sentence S, 2 subtasks are formed, that is subjective classification and sentence level sentiment classification. What is the subjective classification? Determining whether the sentence S is subjective sentence or an objective sentence. Then the second task is, if S is subjective, determine whether it expresses a positive opinion or negative opinion, or else neutral opinion. So if the sentence S is given, the classification consists of 2 steps. One is determining whether the sentence is subjective sentence or objective sentence. If it is a subjective sentence, mine for the positive, negative, or neutral opinions. And these subtasks are important because for filtering of the sentences which does not have any opinion, for filtering such sentences, and after we know that what entity and aspects, and what is aspect? Aspect is also called as
Feature, ma'am.
yes. And after we know that the entities and aspects of entities are talked about in a sentence, that means if there are any aspects and entities in the sentence, this this step will help us in determining whether the opinion about the entities and their aspects are positive or negative. So these tasks we are using for eliminating the no opinion statements, and if at all there are any opinions, to find whether the opinions are positive or negative. Featured based sentiment analysis. So say sentiment classification we have done at document level and sentence level. It tells that people are liking this particular product or disliking this particular product. It is positive or negative, they'll give. But what the people are liking is not acquired from sentiment analysis or sentence level analysis. For this purpose, we require featured based sentiment analysis. See, if we are giving a positive opinion on an object, it does not mean that the opinion for the entire product is positive. For example, if I am saying that the camera quality is good, but the battery is low, the cost is low, sorry, the cost is high, okay, and the memory is very less, then what will be the overall conclusion about that product? Positive or negative? It's a negative opinion. So if I am giving a positive opinion on a particular component, means as a whole, it does not mean that the entire product is positive or negative. Similarly, if I am giving a negative opinion, means it does not mean that I am giving uh, a negative opinion on the entire product. So this, sometimes I have used the word feature and sometimes I have used aspect, so that you may not get confused. But in the examination, either you use the word feature or aspect according to the question. If they give you to explain about feature based, in the answer, you use the word feature only. If they give as aspect, you use aspect only. Don't use both the words. So aspect based opinion mining introduces a sort of problems, and it requires deeper natural language processing. Simple natural language processing techniques are not used, but it requires deeper natural language processing capabilities, and it produces very rich set of results. So what is the main objective of featured based sentiment analysis? Its objective is to discover every quintuples in a given document. So we need to identify or discover all the attributes of the analysis or of the opinion. So basically there are 5 tasks are there to achieve the objective, but we are going to study only 2 tasks. Only 2 tasks are described in your syllabus. So we are totally there will be 5 tasks, out of which we are studying aspect extraction and its classification. So extract the aspects that has been evaluated. For example, what you take the example of the sentence, the picture quality of the camera is amazing. And here the aspect is picture quality. And picture quality, the entity here is camera. So when you are extracting the features, you need to remember that it is not a general feature, because we in the sentence we are talking about the picture quality, and we are not talking about the camera. We are not saying that the camera is amazing, but we are simply saying that the picture quality of this camera is amazing. So it is not a generalized sentence. But if I say that I love this camera, then it is a generalized aspect. We are talking about the camera as a whole in the second sentence, whereas we are talking about the particular subcomponent which is called as picture quality. We are talking about the attribute picture quality here. Here we are in the second sentence we are talking about camera. The second sentence is a generalized sentence, but the first sentence is a specific sentence. Next, aspect sentiment classifications. After we extract the aspects, we need to determine that whether the opinions given by the opinion holders are positive, negative, or neutral. See, it's the same example. In the example, the picture quality of this camera is amazing. The opinion here is positive. And in the second sentence also the opinion is positive. So we can able to classify whether by seeing the features whether the class is positive or negative. Any doubts? Okay, I'll proceed. So the sentence level or else the clause level sentiment classification method can be applied to each sentence in the document. So the aspect in it will take the opinion orientation of the sentence or clause. So we can able to find the orientation of the aspects. It's feature level. But see, previously we have used point by PMI measure, right? For a document level and sentence level. Now we need to find the orientation at features level. Dealing the orientation at features level is difficult when compared to other two levels. So for this we use lexical based approach for solving this problem. The lexical based approach uses an opinion lexicon. That is, what is opinion lexicon? A list of opinion words, phrases to determine the orientation of opinions in the sentence. So for finding the opinions in the sentence, we use words and phrases. And it also considers opinion shifters and but clause. We'll see what is this opinion shifters and but clause. So let us see how this lexical based approach will work. The first thing is mark opinion words and phrases. Given a sentence that contains one or more spelling mistake, one or more aspects, this step marks all opinion words and phrases in the sentences. What do you mean by that? First, we need to obtain the words, opinion words and phrases, and you need to give some score. How will you score? The positive words are given +1 and the negative words is assigned -1. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Yes. Now, by saying the word, tell me what do you mean by opinion shifters?
The words which make the change of his opinion change, like, but the battery level is low. Such sentence from good,
But
it
don't tell me about but, only opinion shifters.
okay. Like positive to negative, like
Yes,
okay.
positive to negative. How can you make a positive words to a negative word? ఎవరు చెప్తుంది హర్షిత్ ఆన్సర్?
Yes, ma'am.
How can you make a positive word to negative word?
Means like context, like different context.
ఒక పాజిటివ్ ఒపీనియన్ నెగటివ్ వర్డ్ ఒపీనియన్ కింద ఎలా మారుతుందమ్మా? ఇంగ్లీష్, జనరల్ ఇంగ్లీష్. ఎస్, యాడింగ్ నాట్.
Okay.
Okay. Opinion shifters are also called as valence shifters, are the words and phrases that can shift or change the opinion orientation. So the negation words like not, never, none, nobody, nowhere, neither, and cannot are the most common type of opinion shifters. See, previously the sentence was the picture quality is great. Now this has become as a negative sentence by adding not before the great. And apart from these negation words and phrases, you can also alter opinion. There are other types of words are there to alter the words. For example, would, should, could, might, must, and out. For example, the brake could be improved. If the brake is improved, if I say the brake is improved, it is a positive sentence. But I am using the word could. The brake could be improved had made the sentence negative. And furthermore, if at all any shift see, it's already 10:30. If you are coming like this, it becomes more disturbance to me. Right. So every appearance of the shift words in the sentence does not make the sentence as a negative sentence. See the example. Not is a shift word, but is also a shift word. But I am using both these in a sentence. Not only, but also. Does not make my word as, or sorry, does not make the sentence as a negative sentence. If I say a particular product is not only good, but it is also very good, but it also very clear. If I say something, it does not make the sentence a negative sentence. So you need to handle such sentences carefully. Any doubts? Handle but clause. But makes the sentence negative. You can write many examples of this. Tell me one example. Tell me one example with but?
The same, ma'am. The camera quality is good, but the battery is low.
Yes. But అనే వర్డ్ ఒక్కటి యూస్ చేస్తే it becomes a negative sentence. That particular guy is very good but lazy. The entire sentence has become negative. A sentence containing but is handled by applying the following rule. Okay, the opinion orientation before but and after but are opposite to each other. Have you understood this sentence? I'm say the picture quality is good, but before but it is a positive sentence. After but you are saying that the memory is low, so it's a negative sentence. So they both are opposite to each other. The opinions are opposite. Before but is having one orientation, that is positive orientation, and after but it is a negative orientation. I'll repeat the rule. The opinion orientation before but and after but are opposite to each other. The opinion on one side cannot be determined. Okay, if you cannot determine, it's a thumb of rule that before but there will be one type of negative orientation or positive orientation. If it is positive orientation before but, there will be negative orientation after but. If it is negative before, then after it will be positive. Both opposite orientations. Say this example. The picture quality of this camera is not great. So it's a negative sentence. We are giving the score -1. But the battery life is long. So positive. So due to but, +1 is added at the end. So say if we don't know the opinion on one side. If this is negative, then automatically this will become a positive sentence. If this is positive, the other will become a negative sentence. So if you don't know one side of opinion and you know other side of the opinion orientation, you can simply say that the other side is the negative sentence of the but. Any doubts?
Ma'am, that means according to this, it is always like that only, ma'am. Both are on different sides.
బట్ పెడితే రెండు పాజిటివ్ ఉండదమ్మా.
Okay.
ఒకటి పాజిటివ్ సెంటెన్స్ ఒకటి నెగిటివ్ సెంటెన్స్ ఉంటుంది. నువ్వు ఏ సెంటెన్స్ అనేది తీసుకో ఇంగ్లీష్ లో.
Okay. Adhe ma'am, like is it a thumb rule, like it is always like that only?
Yes, either before will be positive or after will be positive, but not both the sentences will be positive.
Okay, ma'am.
Apart from the but phrase, there are other phrases such as with the exception of, except that, and except for behave similar to the but, and they should be handled in the same way. So totally how many steps are there here? Oh, sorry. So lexical based approach. First you are marking the opinion words and phrases, then handling opinion shifters, then but clause, and last one aggregating opinions. So you got some scores. So on this scores, this last step with the aggregation opinion applies an opinion aggregation function to the resulting opinion scores to determine the final opinion orientation on each aspect in the sentence. So let the sentence be S, which contains aspects from A1 to AM, and the set of opinion words, that is OW1 to OWN, with their opinion scores 1 to 3. So the opinion orientation of each aspect is determined by following opinion aggregation function. So we need to find the orientation of each feature. So it is nothing but summation of OWJ.O. It's not product. It's opinion score of OWJ. The numerator is nothing but opinion score of a particular opinion word by the distance of the distance between the aspect AJ and the opinion word OWJ, and their summations. Any doubts in the formula? Right. So after finding the score, if the final score is positive, then the opinion on the aspect AI in S is positive. If the final score is negative, then the opinion on that particular aspect is negative. If it is not positive or negative, and if you are getting 0, then it will be neutral. So whatever research, the existing research on the features extraction is mainly carried out on online reviews. So in the slides, we'll study on reviews. So there are two formats of reviews on the web. That is, format will classify them as format 1 and format 2. Format 1 type of reviews that is available on the web is pros, cons, and detailed review. That means in the forums or in the review sites, they ask the opinion holder to give review on the particular product, and they ask the pros and cons to be written separately, and also write some detailed full reviews. For example, see this example. He is giving the pros and cons separately. Okay, and he is giving some brief introduction about this product Canon A70. So this is format 1 type of review. What might be the format 2 reviews? Anytime have you given any review on in any site? Yes. Format 2. This is nothing but free format. The reviewer can write freely. That is no separation of pros and cons. See, he'll give the brief description on the particular product, and inside that only he'll write the pros and cons, but there will not be any separate heading. He include all the positives and negatives in a free form text. So how to extract these features from format 1 type and format 2 type? Okay, any doubts till now? Shall I proceed? Right. To extract the aspects from pros and cons in reviews of format 1, there are many techniques in information extraction, that are conditional random fields technique is there, hidden Markov model HMM, and mining sequential rules. Using these techniques, you can extract the features from format 1. And an important observation about pros and cons is that they are usually very brief. It consists of short phrases or sentence segments. And sentence segment ante say for example, inside a sentence lo pros, inside the pros sentence, we are giving our explanation or expression of different components. Great photos, easy to use. These are all segment is separated by comma or semicolon. Great photo is one segment, each to easy to use, very small. These are all segments. So I'll repeat. It consists. It is usually very brief, consists of short phrases or sentence segments, and each sentence segment contains only one aspect. Remember this point. We are describing only about one aspect in each segment, and are separated by commas, periods, semicolons, hyphens, and but, etc. So we have observed that there are different segments. Okay, we have divided our reviews into pros and cons. So in pros and cons, we have separated each segment with semicolons or commas, and each segment consists of expression, or we are expressing about only one aspect. So this observation helps the extraction algorithm to perform more accurately, and as it is comma separated, it's very easy to apply this algorithms, hidden Markov model or conditional random fields very easily. So the next one is extracting aspects from format 2. But here it is not a comma separated. It consists of complete sentence. So we describe some unsupervised methods for finding explicit aspect expressions. What is explicit aspect expression? We have studied two types of expressions, aspect expressions. What are there?
Explicit and implicit.
Explicit and implicit. So you remember. Explicit aspect expressions that are nouns and noun phrases. Remember, we are discussing about the aspects which are in the form of nouns and noun phrases. And this method requires large number of reviews and consists of two steps. The first step is find frequent nouns and noun phrases. And this noun and noun phrases are identified by POS tagger. Yesterday we have seen this. So their occurrence frequencies are counted and only the frequent ones are kept. So once you find the nouns and noun phrases and which are frequent, we are considering only the frequent noun and noun phrases, and the infrequent nouns are discarded. And after finding the frequent noun and noun phrases, their frequencies are counted. Next, find infrequent aspects by exploiting the relationship between aspects and opinion words. See, here we are finding frequent nouns, but infrequent words. In IRS also we have studied that the importance of rarely occurrence words, right? Infrequent words or infrequent terms, rare words. These rare words are more important while extracting the documents from the web, right? Similarly, here we are finding the infrequent aspects by finding the relationship between the feature and the opinion words. Next. This is under second point. Try to understand this statement. Opinion words that modify frequent aspects can also modify infrequent aspects, and thus can be used to extract infrequent aspects. What this means is, for example, if you found that picture is a frequent feature, in the sentence, the pictures are absolutely amazing. The picture is a frequent aspect. And if you can able to analyze that amazing is an opinion word, then you can able to extract the infrequent aspect, which is software. In the sentence, the software is amazing. Have you understood, or shall I repeat?
That means we say like using frequent aspects of whatever opinion words are there. With that, we can catch hold of infrequent also. Is
Yes,
that
yes, correct.
okay?
Okay. So in this, we have extracted the noun phrases. So each noun phrases which we have extracted in the step 1 is evaluated using PMI score between phrase and some meronym. What is this word means? See, it means that a term which we are denoting as a part, but it will represent as a whole. For example, I am representing the word scanner. That means I am only representing the part of the word. If I say the word scanner, it means that it may be off scanner, scanner has, scanner comes with. All the three words will have the same meaning. But meronymized words are the part of the words but represent a full words. Okay. So using these words, we can find all the words which has such types of words. So the PMI measure is given by PMI for A comma D is hits of A and D by hits of A into hits of D, where is A is candidate aspects, which you have identified in step 1, and D is discriminator. And if the PMI value of the candidate is too low, it means the components of the product, sorry, if this PMI value is too less, it means that it may not be a component of the product, because A and B do not co-occur frequently. If this value PMI value is low, means A and D will not co-occur. Any doubts in this slide? So featured based opinion summary. So you can have many features in a particular sentence, and one feature may have a positive sentence or negative sentence. This is the example. Okay. So I stop here. We'll continue in the next class.